Game 14.
Welcome back to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew.
Welcome back to NBA Countdown. Maria Taylor. We still got Jay Will. We still got
Hold on,
Jalen
Niecy,
Rose.
hold up. Hold on right quick. I got somewhere to be real quick, all right?
You got... Okay, Uncle P. So we give you one thing.
Really? A black George Jackson?
Now he runs the whole show. I guess it's time for the hologram interview presented by AT&T 5G.
Oh, I'm headed to the bubble. Oh, man. Oh, Kimba's there. What's up, Kimba? How you doing, man? It's Paul here.
What's up, P?
Hey, man, I know it was a tough loss last night. How are you feeling, and what's the state of mind of the team today?
Yeah, it was a tough one, but, you know, you live and you learn. You watch film, you get better, you adjust, and, you know, it's only game one, so, you know, we're going to try to go out there, you know, go hard and get a win.
You said you were terrible. You know, I know you've been struggling a little bit offensively. It's different from being in Charlotte now. You got other guys that can take that offensive load off you, so you're not always the #1 guy. So, what do you think you have to do to get back on track offensively?
I just got to get back to being myself. For the most part, I think it's more mental than anything. You know, I got to get back to being my upbeat self, being positive, and just finding a way. You know, my teammates, they trusted me. They trust me to be the leader that I'm capable of being. You know, the offense will come. That's the least of my worries right now. You know, it's really just, you know, encouraging my teammates and being positive like I normally am.
All right, listen. I heard an interesting fact about you, man. And, you know, I've been watching you a long time at Connecticut. You got some of the best footwork in the game. But I also heard that you danced at Apollo, man, at the age of 10. Do you attribute that footwork to you being a dancing guy on Apollo, that young man?
I don't know. My pops always said that, but I don't know. I ain't really rolling with that one.
I feel you, man. All right, last but not least, man, a lot of guys in the bubble chose messages on the back of their jersey. You chose Love Us.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why, and what does that mean to you?
We had a bunch of options to choose from. Of course, Black Lives Matter is on the top of the list. And I figured a lot of guys would choose that. And then when I seen love, it's like, who doesn't want to be loved? Regardless of your race, your gender, whatever. Everyone wants to be loved. And, you know, in this point in time, you know, this is about our community, you know, my community, African Americans, wanting to be loved, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard. Love Us it just stood out to me. I'm really happy that the NBA allowed us to, you know, put those messages on the back of our jerseys. You know, it means a lot to us, and, you know, hopefully it's sending out a strong message.
Well, Kimba, it's been nice talking to you, man. Good luck in Game 2. I know you guys are gonna turn things around.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, beam me up, Scotty. I'm out of the bubble, baby. Gotta go.
Uncle P, please come back. Does he come back from the bubble? When does he get back?
Come back, his boy.
Hey, listen, the one great thing about transportation is just changes your clothes, you get more comfortable, then I can get my clothes back on, back to work. Man, you can do all that during the transportation, man, I'm telling you.
That boy a professional.
He's a professional.
And of course Kimba was dancing. He was born in the Bronx, the birth of hip-hop.
Listen, you better dance in the Apollo. Okay, Uncle P, you got your business suit on again, so the first thing I'm gonna need you to do is go back to Game 1 real quick, live in some misery. Tell me what happened to your Celtics, up 14 in the fourth quarter. What changed? Was it a Celtics problem, or was it something the Heat changed and were doing that changed the outcome?
The Heat just kept doing the things that they do. The Celtics just couldn't make shots. The one thing is, you know, we say they got stagnant, but check this out. That's what makes them great. They got guys like Tatum and Brown who can make these tough shots in isolation situations. They just didn't fall late in the game. They had some timely turnovers. Yeah, there were some timely bad shots. If they can get rid of that, they're going to be all right. I mean, the game was pretty much even. The rebounds, they didn't turn it over. Kimba has to step up for him because of the lack of depth. If they can get Gordon Hayward back in the series, which we don't know what happened with that, but Kimba, he has to be the key to this team right now. We know what Jason Tatum's going to bring. Brown, he has to step up a little more, but the key to this team right now with the lack of depth is Kemba Walker.
Off wax, we've argued about this for years, and Paul will tell you, between who are we drafting between Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And he's always taken Tatum, and I've always taken Brown. And as Tatum has ascended, Brown is now the answer to my question, to answer to your question, because when he scores over 25 points, they don't lose.
Right.
Every time Jaylen Brown gets them 25 points, they're undefeated. We know he's going to hustle and play up front against multiple bodies. But when he's making his buckets, the Celtics have been virtually unbeatable this year. That's the guy I'm looking for.
And Jay, that proves the point about this team being stagnant offensively down the stretch, right? Like, look at the passes that they made in the second and third quarter. 112 passes in the second quarter, 81 passes in the third, 60 passes in the fourth. So when they go to iso ball down the stretch, what does everybody else end up doing? I know they can score. Jason Tatum and Kemba are great, but Jaylen Brown ends up just watching. He becomes an observer. He barely got any touches down the stretch.
That's a great point, fam, because what the Heat do is they switch everything, and then they flatten you out. And so Jason Tatum, one of the best isolation players in the league, he'll still get you a high percentage shot. But for Kemba, we're going to zone you.
Exactly.
We're going to trap you. We're going to make sure that you don't get going, and that's why he's been suffocated the last couple of games.
Yeah, we mentioned it coming into this one, Uncle P, that the Heat, they had chosen to zone the Celtics more than any other team that they had played during the regular season. But let's talk about the Heat even more, because it seemed as though their execution, late game scenario, late game situation, it bested the Celtics. I mean, did you notice that in game one?
Well, absolutely. But when you look at the Heat roster, they don't have guys that can go one-on-one and say, here, we'll give you the ball and get you a bucket, outside of Jimmy Butler. The rest of these guys, they need movement. They need back cuts. They need screens. And that's what makes them so effective. They can do all these things. And they look similar to the Golden State Warriors, although they don't have that superstar punch or that explosive guy who can go off for 50 like Steph and Clay. But they move well without the ball. They know they're going to be unselfish. They're going to make the extra passes. And these guys, they're shot makers. And so when you help off one guy, the other guy's ready to make the shot. And they're doing a good job making the extra pass.
You're right, Uncle P. The Heat right now 9-1 so far in this postseason.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive through 10 games what they've been able to do, considering the one player on their roster drafted in the top 10 is Andre Iguodala. Okay, Marcus Smart, he's shooting the rock though. That's one person that has stepped up for the Celtics so far.
And also defensively, you know, one of the things Paul talked about, sustaining that level, that high level of energy throughout the entire game with all the continuity plays that Eric Spoelstra and the Heat run, that's going to be the challenge for the Boston Celtics down the stretch. It also takes away from their legs offensively.
All right, we're breaking down the Heat now, but remember, they are built on a culture of play.